Welcome back to another Stranger Things Season 5 update, and we've got some great news today. We have an actual possible release date for our very first Season 5 trailer that's coming very soon, as well as a finale update from the man David Harbour himself. We got a full list of the writers announced for each of the episodes in Season 5, which tells us a lot more than you would expect. The animated show got an update, we've got new books coming out this year, we've got so much fun stuff to update you on in the world of Stranger Things. We're going to go over everything exciting today and make sure you know what's coming up so you don't miss out on anything big. Definitely make sure you're subscribed as we get closer to the release date and start seeing more trailers and teasers. They are definitely keeping a lot of the season hush-hush for as long as they can, which is a little abnormal for a show going into its final season, because usually you would want to create the most hype for the biggest bang to end the entirety of the show on. But not only do the Duffer Brothers seem to value not spoiling everything just to convince people to watch it, they also are kind of stuck in the corner and simply can't reveal too much. With how much they need to put in this season with just 8 episodes, they have themselves cornered. And it's because of this they have to start the season as if it's the 3rd episode, with everything plot-wise and all the characters in full swing, already working to put the puzzle pieces together and working on figuring out how to fight Vecna. There's no 2-episode buffer this season of characters being happy and chilling around Hawkins. Those are always some of the most fun episodes, the Scoops Troops time in Season 3 and the Little California intro in Season 4. It gives us time to see all of our favorite characters trying to fit back into normalcy after some crazy events from the last finale. But more recently, like we're starting to see, this time is also the characters not being able to go back to normal. As bigger characters get killed off, the trauma of their deaths are starting to carry over into the next season. We saw with Billy's death in Season 3, it really affected Max throughout all of Season 4, and it kind of helped drive forward the story elements. And now with Eddie's death in the Season 4 finale, we're going to really see it change Dustin and take a big toll on him in Season 5. And you know what's scary? The Duffer Brothers said that this is the reason they could never kill off any of the actual main characters, because it would completely change the show moving forward. And you know what? This is the final season, which means they could technically kill off any of the main characters without having to deal with the trauma that comes with their death for a whole nother season, because there won't be one. David Harbour just had the Thunderbolts movie come out, and in one of his recent interviews, someone asked him again about Stranger Things Season 5, and while he praised the Duffer Brothers for their vision and execution, he also said that the finale of the show will be absolutely devastating. And in a small private read-through, all of the kids were crying like he's never seen people cry before. What on earth do they have planned that is going to be this bad unless the main characters are getting killed off? I am worried for our main cast. Noah Schnapp had similar things to say recently during his interview at the red carpet premiere for The First Shadow in New York. This season, everyone's going to be tearing up. And the whole reason I was talking about them not having the fun first couple of episodes is because that's why they have to wait so long to release the first trailer. It might be more like a teaser just because there's so little you can show without spoiling anything big. What are you going to show if there's no fun moments to let us see? Anything they show might be spoiling something a little too big, you know? I don't know about you, but personally, I hate with a passion how trailers for movies and TV shows these days will completely spoil the entire plot of a movie just to try to convince you to go to the theater and watch it. Because meanwhile, I feel like I just watched the whole movie thanks to the trailer, and I really don't want that for Stranger Things, which means that instead of a full 2-minute long official trailer, it might be closer to a small teaser and maybe a release date confirmed. Which, speaking of, let's talk about when we might see one. Netflix has announced that on May 31st they will be holding their big Tudum event, which is their annual day where they stream to drop new trailers for all their new shows, announce new release dates. It's a big event to create hype for all their heavy hitters: Squid Game, Wednesday, One Piece, Bridgerton, and their biggest, of course, Stranger Things. They usually have some panels with some actors and directors and try to make it a big fun event. And would you look at who they announced is going to be there? It's the main cast of Stranger Things. We have Caleb, Finn, Gaten, Millie, and Noah all coming this year, which is so good to hear. Hopefully we'll get some interviews or a panel with all the Stranger Things cast that's showing up, as well as our first official teaser for Season 5, and fingers crossed, the actual release date. Like we've been speculating, they should be dropping Volume 1 on Thanksgiving this year, so November 27th, and that's assuming they're splitting the season up into 2 parts again. It seemed to work great with Season 4, so they'll most likely do the same thing and drop Volume 2 on Christmas, which would be really bold. For how massive of a holiday that is, I would almost expect them to drop it the day before or after, or just very close to it. I mean, everyone's busy on Christmas. But if you drop it close to Christmas, everyone can watch it together on Christmas break. Because by the time of the Tudum event, we will be 6 months away from Thanksgiving. It's possible they don't show any new footage, but they've been in post-production for over 5 months now. And this is Netflix's big event for the year. There's no way they're not going to drop the release date, or even a tiny little teaser for Season 5. It would be really cool if we got some interviews with the cast, or possibly the Duffer Brothers. Not that any of them could even say anything. Anytime any of them ever get interviewed or asked about Season 5, they can't say anything without spoiling something. They can describe how it feels, and they always say it's the biggest, saddest ending to a show that they've ever seen. It's literally 8 blockbuster movies worth of storytelling, meaning each will most likely be well over an hour long, hopefully at least an hour and a half. And they all say that the ending is the most devastating thing they've ever seen. I just hope that the teaser is more than a voiceover and a shot of Will grabbing his neck and then everyone looking upwards. They have released Season 5 footage in actual small trailer only to an in-person audience twice now. Once at the Netflix Upfront private event a couple days ago, and it seems like they showed the same footage a couple months ago to another private audience. And this was a fully edited together small teaser trailer of actual Season 5 footage. But now that all those small private events are out of the way, this Tudum event is their big bang, the official showcase. I mean, the Twitter account has tweeted out that Stranger Things will be there. They know all the fans will be watching. They're advertising a Demogorgon on the poster. And this should be around a 3-hour event starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, so before we go to sleep that night, hopefully we will get our very first look at Stranger Things Season 5. I'm telling you, we're all going to have the bestest dreams fighting Demogorgons and riding our bikes through the Upside Down together. Which, by the way, speaking of, I also made a quick Stranger Things survey. If you're an actual fan of the show and want to have a little bit of fun or you're just bored, go check it out in the comments and then tell me if you liked it. I've never done one before and I thought it might be a little fun, so yeah, go check it out if you want. Now, we also have a couple other exciting Stranger Things updates. They just announced the title for the new Stranger Things animated series. The show will be called Stranger Things Tales from 85, and it seems to be structured in a way where if it's successful and they wanted to keep doing these, they could easily do Tales of 84, Tales of 83, and just keep going, touching on different characters or stories in the world of Stranger Things. But keep in mind that this show will not be about the main cast or possibly even the main story of Stranger Things, but instead it will just exist in the same universe. This show will be closer to old Saturday morning cartoons you would see, where hopefully each episode will be a small little standalone adventure. And the animation studio making this TV show is one that you may have heard of before, or if you don't know their name, there's a good chance you've seen something they've made. The animation company is called Flying Bark Productions, and they did Marvel's What If series on Disney+, as well as the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show and the movie. They're working on a Ghostbusters TV show as well as the new Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that's coming out in theaters. They've got their hands pretty full at the moment, but the Duffer Brothers have said that all the art and work they've done on it so far, they're really happy with and it looks great. It's always exciting to get a good update like this. Just keep in mind the show will be completely disconnected from the main show. We also got a list of writers announced for the individual episodes of Season 5. There will be 8 episodes in total, and of course the first 2 episodes as well as the finale, the last 2 episodes, are written by the Duffer Brothers. They usually do the first and last couple of episodes, so this is nothing new. But we do have Caitlin Schneiderhan doing episode 3, The Turnbow Trap. She also wrote episode 3 of season 4, The Monster and the Superhero. This is the episode where Murray and Joyce go to Alaska to rescue Hopper. This is when Eleven gets arrested. It's also the episode where they explore Vecna's second kill. Nancy and Robin also go digging for demons in the library. It's a great episode, but not only did she write this, she also wrote the Eddie Munson prequel book that we read not too long ago. This was a story that takes place during season 2 of the show and explores Eddie's backstory, and it tells why he doesn't have a mother or a father and how he almost got away from Hawkins and signed a big record deal to become a rock star. This was an amazing prequel story for the world of Stranger Things, so I'm really excited to see that she's writing episode 3, but I'm not so sure this will mean Eddie will be connected to season 5, unfortunately. Episode 4 was written by Paul Dichter, who has a much bigger episode list. He wrote the story for the finale episode of season 1, which is probably still the best standalone season of the show. He wrote wrote the 4th episode of Season 2 that Sean Levy directed, Will the Wise, the big episode where the Mind Flayer actually possesses Will in the field. And then he also wrote episode 5 in Season 3, The Flayed, where we are actually introduced to the meat puppet for the first time in the hospital, which was absolutely terrifying. That was one of the most terrifying scenes of the entire season. And then, if that wasn't enough, he also wrote Dear Billy for Season 4. Yeah, the most gut-wrenching episode of the whole season. And every episode was insanely big, but that one was even more of an emotional roller coaster. So for Season 5, he wrote episode 4, The Sorcerer, which again is supposed to be another Will episode. And they've been warning us for a while now that Will is going to play a much larger role this season. 1 and 2, he was very pivotal to the story, but in 3 and 4, they kind of put him in the back seat. But not this time. And who better to write that episode than the same writer that did the Will the Wise episode in Season 2. Now, next up is Shock Jock. We have Curtis Gwynn, who wrote episode 6 for Season 3 and 4. In Season 3, it was E Pluribus Unum, where the kids get captured and interrogated by the Russians in the underground lab, the meat puppet chases the kids at the hospital, and then the ending is 11 finding flayed Billy in the void, where the Mind Flayer first talks to 11. And then they also did episode 6 of Season 4, The Dive, which is the one right before the finale of Volume 1, incredible episode. And then next, excitingly enough, is Katie Trefry, who not only has been writing with the show since Season 2 now, but also, she just finished writing the Broadway stage play, Stranger Things The First Shadow. She wrote The Spy, episode 6 of Season 2, where the Mind Flayer had complete control over Will, absolutely mental episode. She also did the sauna test in Season 3 with Billy, which again, another insanely good episode, as well as the Nina Project in Season 4. And in Season 5, she's writing the episode Escape from Camazotz, which is episode 6. It should technically be the final episode of Volume 1, the little mini finale before the true finale. And that's if they choose to leave the last 2 episodes to be released a month after as Volume 2. I mean, they did this the last season, I'm sure they'll do it again, but the writer lineup is so impressive. I mean, keep in mind, they have said before that they all kind of bounce back and forth and help each other write bits of each episode, kind of like workshopping the whole story, but these are the official writing credits that were just published. I also saw that they announced the official scripts will be available for purchase towards the end of this year, along with a new Nancy and Robin mystery novel. I'm so excited about another story in the Stranger Things world because, especially with this duo, I'm sure it will be a good read, but the scripts are also really interesting. I'm not sure of the details, but it would be really cool if it wasn't the final draft of the episodes, but the first or second draft, so everything that was changed and cut from the show was being released for us to read. I love seeing preliminary scripts showing you what never made it to the big screen. It feels like you can re-experience the show in a whole different light. It would reveal so much behind the scenes of what almost was. Really excited about that, but there's so much Stranger Things coming this year, we just have to wait a little bit longer. Now, tell me in the comments what you're looking forward to most, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.